Hello and welcome to Frames Per Second. I'm your host, Vicki Richards. On this week's episode, we have student filmmaker Alec Green and makeup artist and face-off contestants Tyler Green and Bethany Serpico. Stay tuned. Welcome to Frames Per Second. I'm joined today with Alec Green, student filmmaker, and his brother Tyler Green, special effects makeup artist and face-off contestant. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess we'll start with Alec. Now, you're a high school senior, and you're a filmmaker. What kind of got you into that?
I would say mostly Tyler. I mean, we would stay up late watching films when I wasn't supposed to. So, I mean, it was mainly just us kind of hanging out watching, horror films or action films, and I loved watching them all the time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of projects do you work on? What kind of things do you do with school and things like that?
So currently, I got the opportunity for my senior year to do a capstone project. So it's an independent project that I do, and I chose to do film, obviously. And I decided to make a Kickstarter for it, and for my film it was going to be based around werewolves and focused kind of around my hometown. So I was really excited to do that, and yeah.
Well, we have your Kickstarter to show a little bit later, but before we do that, talk a little bit about what got you into special effects makeup.
Well, as long as I can remember, my parents told me I've always been a very creative kid, like that one of those kids that just could always think of these amazing things. I would always look at something and want to replicate it. Whether I had tape, tinfoil, anything really. And it kind of evolved from there, and I was, again, really inspired by films, just like Alec, and it just kind of blew up. I knew what I wanted to do in 9th grade. I was given a magazine, and I looked in the back of it, and it was a ad for Tom Savini's special makeup effects program in Pennsylvania. And I actually geared my entire high school curriculum for that. I knew I wanted to go there, and I did.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
What kind of work have you been doing? I know you've been on Face Off, but what other things do you do other than the show?
Other than the show, well, currently I own my own business right now called Creative Genius, LLC, and I'm actually designing and coming up with cool gadgets and accessories to, from full conceptualization
There we go.
to full-scale production. So using my inventive skills to really conjure up really cool ideas and bringing them to market. So.
Cool. And you worked a little bit with dental stuff.
Yep, I have a dental background. I worked for 4 years as a dental lab technician and creating dentures and teeth for patients.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of work together, like you said, you kind of feed off each other.
Yeah.
What's that been like, growing up, kind of having a partner in crime?
He's always been my guinea pig. Any
Oh,
makeup
yeah.
I wanted to do, it doesn't matter. He was in preschool. I want to make a cut mark. Come here, let me grab you, So it's been fun. Oh, he loved it. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. No, yeah, anything he would tell me to do, he'd be like, hey, so I'm gonna need you to be a swamp monster, or put you in the dryer, and we'll do a cool scene like that. And I was like, okay, me as a little kid never questioned anything he said. I was like, okay, sure.
And at the time I was a teenager, so I didn't, I tried out this new material. All right, let's put it on him and just test it out. You know what I mean? So, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
And it's all led up to on the show and working on this current project with him. So we've both definitely grown, I think, as brothers too, what I mean? So we've gotten much more closer using our skills for different things, so.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in the future kind of with filmmaking?
With filmmaking, I see it more as a hobby for me. I really love doing it, and I've thought about it for a career and things. It's just hard for me to feel like going into that career and everything, so right now I'm thinking about going in for criminal justice, so going for that background, and then I want to do this as more of a hobby than anything. So this summer in Michigan we have an internship at Capture Time Productions in Litchfield, and they've worked on hundreds of documentaries and things like that. So I'm pretty excited to have that opportunity to work there and really just learn more about the film industry. So.
Very cool, very cool. Your community feedback, what's it been like? Not a lot of people have someone in town who's a special effects makeup artist, or someone who's been working on films at such a young age. What's it been like? Because you guys are from Litchfield.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, just Connecticut alone. I mean, I've been bombarded with some awesome newspapers, radio interviews. It's been awesome. I mean, the publicity alone has just been great. It's just really heartfelt and warming to know that there's people out there who care.
Yeah.
And it's been great.
Yeah, it's really nice to know that the town's really supporting him especially, and that they recognize him as somebody who's a fantastic artist and everything. So getting to see that is just really inspiring. So, yeah.
So walk us, or like introduce us to your project that you did your Kickstarter for. We'll show it in a little bit.
So my project is about a young man who gets bitten by a werewolf, and he learns that he has to control his abilities while also saving his town. And he becomes this overall guardian of White's Woods. And that's actually a nature reserve in my hometown. And I plan on kind of exploiting that into my film. So that's basically the whole outline of it.
A lot of material in our hometown to use that I think would be a great story too. So.
Yeah.
What was it like doing the Kickstarter, you know, actually making the video?
Making the video was definitely an adventure in itself. It was like, I didn't really think it through because we filmed it in like November. So I was like, oh, you know, I'll just wear a t-shirt through it and it'll be fine. It was like
zero budget, how about that?
Zero budget.
You know?
I mean, it was like, let's just go out. Ty had extra material, so he made like a brow and everything for me, and we got some contacts, and he had teeth and everything, so you know, I just popped them all in, you know, put the makeup on, and we just started filming one weekend, and oh my gosh, it was so cold in November. It was 35 degrees. I was in a t-shirt. They were all in nice warm jackets, and I was like, had to go into like this ice cold river, and I was like, this is awful.
And our cinematographer, Jack Pope, he really took on the project too. He is extremely talented as well.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the video.
All right.
Hi, I'm Allie Green. I'm a high school student and creator of New Breed. My brother's Tyler Green. He's an acclaimed makeup artist, prosthetic technician, and inventor of Wonder Band systems. Ever since I've been a kid, Ty would just say, let's go make a movie or some type of creation, and I ended up being the guinea pig for majority of those things. I was either a werewolf or a swamp monster, or have my eyes gouged out. I mean, anything you thought of, I was just that. After that, he's gone off to school where he studied his passion, and after that, he went to a few different places where he worked, and recently he was actually on Face Off on the season that's coming up in January, and he's home, he's back in town, and now I have the chance to work with him again, and it's something that I think would be an awesome experience and an awesome creation to do. With this Kickstarter, I'll finally have that chance. New Breed's going to be filmed entirely by students and members of the local community, and all resources are going to be drawn from the surrounding area. The storyline is going to follow the tribal lore of werewolf mythology, focusing on realism rather than using fantasy. And I'm going to do this by using special effects makeup rather than using CGI. With your support, we're going to do higher quality makeup, better stunts, better effects, everything we're going to improve upon, so please, please help.
New Breed is going to really present a really cool opportunity to really showcase Alex's imagination and my really awesome creature skills. So together, I think we have something really unique.
Absolutely. I think we're going to make something awesome, and I'm really excited. And I just want to thank you guys one more time for listening, and hopefully just press that button in one of the options, and please fund us, and we thank you for everything.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills.
Check.
Driver's license.
Check.
And a high school diploma or GED.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
I'm back with Alec and Tyler Green. We just took a look at your Kickstarter video. So tell us a little bit about the process of it, kind of what Kickstarter is, how it worked for you.
Kickstarter is basically an online funding website where thousands of people from all around the world can look at your project or whatever your idea is, and they can fund you. So depending on if they like it or not, you get funded. You set a certain price you want to get funded at, and if you get all that money or above, you get to keep it all. But if you don't reach your goal, you don't get any money.
Okay. So how did it go for you?
For me, my project ended up being unsuccessful. And for me, I took it kind of hard at first, but my advisor of my capstone project and one of my teachers, he said, you know, think about it, and think about those failures and what you could have changed, what you could have done wrong, and maybe fix them. So what I did was I contacted some of the people who had funded my project, and I asked them, so what did you like, and what are some things you think you would have changed? And I had a few people send some replies, and they were really nice. Some people said, I thought it was great, awesome idea. I like the fact that you're a high school student who's doing this independent project, a film. That's awesome. Some guy said, have dreams, and I was like, great, thanks. And then and then we had other people who just said, I really like the idea, but I feel like you didn't push it all the way through. I feel like the potential could have been more. I said, okay. So when you do, for my capstone project in school, you have to show what you had done. So I recently did a presentation, and I told them that, this is what I had, and this is what people thought, and just taking out some of the negatives that I felt I could have changed was I could have made it a little bit more clear for other people. I could have changed the story a little bit. And the hardest part for me was finding a good target audience. And it's very important to find that. A target audience is basically people that you want your project or something that you create to focus towards, and that can be in business, creating anything. It can be with the Wonder Band, it can be with writing a book. You always have to find a target audience. So for me, my fans ended up being around my age group, but the people to fund my project were people around ages of 25 to 27 who were out of school and started their career. Mm-hmm. So I had to find how to contact those people and really present my idea to them. And that ended up being the most challenging part. And that's what I'm working on currently, is how to really present it to them. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Wonder Band. What exactly is that?
This is a product of my own design. I actually got to wear it, the prototype on the show. And for me, this is tapping into my inventive background. I always, like I was telling you before, as a kid, I was always think of things. And I really come to find out that even through the show, it really helped me explore my creativity and my inventive skills. I'm very meticulous in my work, and I think that really the show really kind of helped me open my mind a little bit more and access on my creative process. And it's currently a patent pending process right now, and I'm really pushing to get it out there. And basically, this little device, it's all customizable. You're able to pop in different types of tools and things like that. And whether you're a makeup artist or just someone who needs a pen, easy access right here on you. And it's been blowing up from there. So I'm in the process of getting it in production and hopefully getting it out to my makeup friends and family of Face Off so they can try it before I kind of send it out there. So
very dynamic duo, the two. You got a lot of good ideas.
So yeah, we definitely do. We have a lot of really awesome ideas. It's just hard to get it out to people. That's the most challenging thing. I remember when I was with him, we went to a trade show, and I was actually his makeup demo for it, and we did a werewolf. And
love werewolves.
Yeah, loves werewolves. And people just saw that, and it was just his prototype at the time. And they're like, "Where can I get it? I want it."
Grabbing my arm, pulling it. Where is this? This is something different. And I'm like, "All right," So it kind of gave me. I mean, this is all the trials when I was going through designing it. I mean, that's just one idea that I have of several I have going on right now. Let's do one at a time. Like with New Breed, I think it was very heartbreaking for me to see him unsuccessful with that, but I think with a little bit of money behind us, I think a full creature from head to toe is something to show. I think that would really show it.
Yeah, well, we have the trailer to show, so let's take a little clip of that, and then we'll talk about it. Very cool. So you mentioned in the Kickstarter video that you weren't going to do any sort of CGI. You're going to go with just the special effects makeup. Now, is that just because, you know, you got your own personal makeup artist? Or?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the key reasons. I mean, he literally is the room next to me, so I figured, you know, why not ask him? But it seemed a little impractical to do CGI because, you know, you have to find somebody who does that, whereas special effects can do just as much without so much time. You know, it's just somebody thinking of it and really.
And I mean, for me to be able to see it, touch it, it's real. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not versed with you know, computers and that way. So I just feel if you can see something, it's real.
Yeah.
So.
Were you hoping to go with the series, not, you know, knowing that you don't have the Kickstarter funding, but, you know, what do you want to do with it?
I definitely want to open up a whole world. I mean, I watched a lot of diaries from Peter Jackson, and he told me when J.R.R. Tolkien was writing, you know, the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, he kind of wrote out a whole timeline for himself of what the whole story was, and that's something I did for myself just to keep myself focused. And I'd really love to introduce so much history and do like a fixed history kind of thing, and just kind of include my hometown as much as I can and show the mystery of White's Woods and other supernatural creatures. I find that so interesting, and I'd love to incorporate that into my film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it been like, you know, working together?
Working together, I mean, it's not as bad as everyone says, working with your brother.
Hey.
So, I mean, yeah, so it's definitely nice. It's nice to know that you have somebody to trust and who, you know, can help you out. And it's always good to find somebody, especially your brother, who, you know, understands you and you kind of understand them. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, so.
Very cool. Well, we've got to go to commercial break, but thank you for joining us, Alec. On the next segment, we'll be talking with Tyler and fellow face-off contestant Bethany Serpico. So stay tuned.
You got your personal references, high school diploma or equivalent?
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
It's right there.
Sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
Tuesday, January 14th.
Competition this season is so tough.
Face Off is back.
This will be a season of extremes. How can it get any more bold and extreme than it has been?
And the challenges are colossal.
We start booking it because we're terrified.
Bolder designs.
Wow.
This is great.
Bigger risks.
It was a face-off miracle.
I've never seen a design quite like this.
Surprise destinations. And just when the competition couldn't get any more intense,
I have another surprise for you.
Wait.
This is Face Off.
Welcome back to Frames Per Second. I'm joined with Tyler Green and Bethany Serpico, contestants on this season's sci-fi face-off show. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Hey.
No
So for viewers who don't know what the show is, tell us a little bit about it.
It's a show where they get as many special effects makeup artists and like different skills together to make giant creatures in no amount of time.
No time.
No time.
So what did you guys have to do to get on the show?
We had to submit a video talking about who you are as a person, you know, what your skill set is, and actually do one of the hardest things in makeup is a makeup on yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's just, I mean, I'm sure you girls know doing makeup in the mirror, you're like, you know, oh, like this, but doing a full facial prosthetic, that's hard.
Yeah.
And spraying
It's hard.
alcohol in your eyes every second.
Oh, wow. Well, it was worth it. You guys got on the show.
So worth
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So what was it like being on the show, you know, being on a reality show that airs nationally?
I mean, when we were in the lab, it didn't feel like a reality show at all.
Yeah.
It just felt like a crazy job. And
Walking in that lab is like walking
Yeah.
into a big candy shop, and we're the little kids that just want like unlimited material, unlimited resources, but
our
you know,
faces, when they, ours
Yeah.
especially,
Ours, yeah.
when they showed us, we were like, the grossest, like so happy.
What was it like kind of doing this work in a competition setting? You know, what kind of
It was
pressures did you
intense.
feel?
Very intense.
It was very intense. It didn't, not even necessarily just a competition. I think just finishing a creature and doing it well was like so much pressure in itself.
You know,
Like,
you had 3 days, but it was more like hours, you know, so that's what was
Yeah.
crazy.
it kind of equals out to one day when you count
One
it
day,
out.
yeah.
Which is,
Split into 3 days.
yeah,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
it's crazy.
What was the dynamic, between the contestants?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody immediately was like, "Oh, we're all best friends." Like,
Yeah, so this is
no
not
left
the Jersey
out.
Shore here.
Yeah,
This is
it seems a lot different than any regular reality show. Everyone's kind of button heads and against each other, but you guys really.
Yeah, everyone was always like quick to help each other
Yeah.
whenever anyone needed help. Even the first day, before anyone knew each other, we all were helping a group
yeah. Because
with
in the
their
end,
roles.
it's our show. So if no, you know what I mean. So it's like you want to help everybody to put out good work. Because it's our season, it's our family, and
Exactly.
we are still all connected to each other. So
Yeah,
big extended family.
exactly.
Now, we already heard about, how Tyler got into the special effects makeup. What about you, Bethany?
I have always been like into the arts since ever I can remember, but I originally went to school for video game design, and I just realized that wasn't the medium that I liked. I was still making creatures, just not the way I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stumbled upon makeup school and realized, like, oh, well, duh, I want to physically make these creatures. And ever since then, it's been awesome. I'm actually pretty still fresh to the game. I would say about 1.5 years.
Oh, wow. So you've really gone quickly then.
Yeah, it's been weird since school. But yeah, it's been awesome.
Do you guys have like a favorite genre to work in? Favorite kind of creature to make?
I'm definitely a fantasy-driven artist. I mean, my dragon from Dragon's Breath episode 3, I feel was definitely one of my favorite, and I think beautiful pieces that I've ever done, honestly. I love that dragon.
I'm definitely more gross. I like gore and mutants and pus and all that.
Ooh.
My favorite was the first challenge. We got to do an individual foundation challenge, and I just did a woman who was like beaten and infected, and her mouth was pussing open and stuff. And it was fun.
Really appetizing stuff.
Yes. Yes.
What are some of the harder things that you've worked on? Maybe not even just on the show, but in general, the hardest kind of projects.
With my dental background, I actually had the opportunity to work with a woman who had cancer. She was missing half her face, and I was able to deliver her a custom prosthesis to make her whole again, pretty much. And using my skills in special makeup effects, life casting her face, making a copy, and resculpting, going through the whole molding process, and delivering her face. And us shedding tears together. It was pretty rewarding, and I think that will go right up there with an amazing experience, just like Face Off.
Wow. Yeah.
I can't even after that.
Yes, you can. You've done
Nothing like
worked
that.
on some pretty big names.
Yeah, especially being so new to it.
I mean, I've worked on some like pretty bigger shows that. Like one of my first jobs after school was a haunted house, and right from there I did Kelly and Michael live. I was doing some bald cap work for that, and then I've done some stuff for Animal Planet and Adult Swim, and so I mean in that sense it's scary for me because it's like I better not mess this up, otherwise everyone will see it. Like Face Off.
Yeah.
I think that was the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing is there's that timer's going, and it's like it's make it or break it. So, I mean, you really, when they say go, I mean, you have a half an hour to come up with your design, and you have to go with it. And if it fails, it fails.
Yeah, and outside of the competition, how long does it really take to make one of these things? How much time would you invest?
Sometimes months.
Months. You want to design a beautiful. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you're doing a full feature,
exactly.
You really want the time to create these things, weeks. not hours.
Yeah.
And
now some of that, it's obviously probably more difficult to get the materials when you're not on the show. Does that factor into it?
Yeah. Everything's pretty expensive.
And it's a budget, everything's budgeted. So if you go over, it's like, oh, geez, you got to compensate for that. But I mean, on the show, it's like, okay,
whatever we
want. We're making a $600 mold. Okay, no big deal.
That was awesome.
So that was the fun. Those are the fun things we did. It was like complete creative freedom and freedom of any product we wanted. So.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So you're still on the show, but Bethany, you were eliminated.
Yes.
What was the experience like for you? What's it been like since, the things you've learned from it?
The experience overall was awesome. I got to meet a bunch of cool people and make stuff for free and meet the judges. Since then, it's been like overwhelmingly supporting. Like, I was expecting all this hate mail, like, you stink, but like everyone's been like, no, like, you were great, like, I'm so surprised, like, I'm happy for you, I want your career to go far, so like, it's awesome and completely overwhelming.
Yeah.
But it's been good. I mean, I've just been working on, I do freelance, so
Okay.
I work on set a lot in film and TV, and it's been good since then.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
what about you? How do you feel being on it, you know, being involved in all of it?
I mean, it's weird seeing yourself on TV, but at the same time, I know that I'm looking at my work and everybody else's work, and it's just been really cool to see the journey, and, you know, we're reliving it just like you guys are. I mean, we saw it from a different perspective, but seeing it all edited and put together, it's just like, Jesus, it's like a blur, and it brings you right back. So
Yeah, what is the weirdest part of being on a reality show?
Doing the one-on-one interviews with the camera, definitely, for me. Because that's when you realize, like, oh, wait, like, this is a TV
People are
show.
seeing
Like,
you,
we're
yeah.
not
And
just...
I mean, like, even being in the lab, I would be in my zone just like I am in my own workshop, my own home, just like working, but then you'd forget. I did it once. I don't know if they're ever going to show it, but I looked up, I'm like, whoa, I'm getting filmed. It was just one of those weird things because I got comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in your
Yeah.
zone, you don't think, you just do what you do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they hope for. You know, you don't realize there's 20 cameras on you, screens everywhere, but I'm just focused on my work.
Wow.
And I think that's what you want to be. You want to be so in the zone.
Absolutely.
And forget about what's going on. And I did.
I had a moment where I realized it when someone dropped a mold on my hand, and like everyone was like, cameras right in my face immediately, and I had to hide in the bathroom.
Wow. What kind of advice do you have for, you know, aspiring special effects makeup artists? It is such a small community, such a, you know, a niche thing.
I mean, just don't slack off, ever. Like, you are always having to hustle. No matter what field of makeup you want to get into, whether it's set work, shop work, whatever, you always have to be on it and making contacts and just practicing everything, because you can always get better.
I'd say let your imagination explode. Literally, if you have all this creativity and you know, amazing you know, creative abilities to be able to bring something to life, go with it. You don't second guess yourself. Definitely,
Yeah.
that kind of will mess you up big time, especially in
Face Off.
Especially on Face Off, but.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. That's unfortunately all the time that we have, but best of luck to you still on the show. And
Thank you.
Thank you both so much for coming again.
Yeah, no
All right.
problem.
And join us next time on Frames Per Second.